it takes a few minutes to kick in. But I do like that mingling aspect of going out. I used to go out. I used to live downtown. I would just go for a long ass walk and go in and out of bars, have a drink like I was partying downtown, and then I just kind of slip out the back door and walk home and under the stars. You know, I like that liveliness vibe a lot, actually, a lot.
I like it too. I'm not even gonna lie, but I guess there's like time for that. I think life allots you these time periods where you can maybe go and mingle for a year straight or something like that.
That's what it is. That's what I did actually for a couple of years. So I think it was like 2 to 3 was a hard mingle.
I've been there, definitely.
We should be. Let me check if we're live yet. Yes, cool. We're live. What up, everyone? Welcome to the live. It's your host, Keith, man of letters, knowledge, information, and entertainment, hopefully at the least. And say hello to my new friend, Ja.
Hi.
Thanks for coming on the live tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. I came across Ja and her tarot antics, and but also a potent. What's the proper title? Psychic, but there's niches of psychic, right? Is there a more specific than that?
I am a psychic, intuitive, clairvoyant. So basically, I basically, so you know how when people sell their soul to the devil, right? For fame and fortune. Well, I've sold my soul to God. So I'm a servant of the divine principle. And I've created a lifestyle or a way of being or a way of serving that allows space for the divine to come into my being. Now, because this is like a drug that I constantly seek, it's something that I've learned to keep completely open at all times. So I'm an open channel for the divine source.
As compared to someone who sits down, meditates into the channel space, you're always aware of it.
I'm always there. Right.
So how is that?
Because I am in constant, so I streamline my communication essentially. So the way that I communicate and interact with the world, all of those energies are streamlined to only listening and interacting with the divine. So it's like a covenant in a space that I've created within time and space that I sit in constantly. So it's like an open chakra, open heart center, and I try to sit there. I guess it's a little bit of the solar plexus too. It's an alignment, basically. So it's like a channel frequency. In the beginning of my journey, I obviously tried different frequencies. But having discernment, because I grew up as a Pentecostal Christian.
Nice.
So all of my life, I was under these religious structures, which has given me a lot of structure.
I was about to say,
so I know who God is. I have a personal relationship with God. I've firmly established it around 11. So
what happened at 11?
So I was going to church on a daily, about 6 days a week. We didn't go on Mondays, and service was like a couple hours a night. And over time, my mom was a single parent of 5. And it was a very strict household. So Janice didn't have, or me. And there's so much Janice, because I'm a little girl at this time. Ja came later. She birthed around 19, 18. Yeah, she came about that time. So I didn't have an escape valve. I didn't have a means of an escape. I don't know. But my mom kept bringing me into this church, opening up these doors for me, that one continuously. And over time, I just wanted God so much. I just wanted the love because of the praise and the worship that I was immersed in. I understood that intrinsically. I don't know. Next thing you know, I'm always sitting in the front pew with the pastor's wife because I wanted to get closer to God. There's a big cross. I wanted to get closer, and I wanted to show. I remember just begging, Lord, I want to feel you, God. I want to feel you, Lord. I want to feel you. I want to feel you. I want to feel you over as like 11, 12. I want to feel you. I want to feel you.
Wow.
People having these Holy Ghosts. I was like, yes, and even exorcisms, at my feet. And I'm like just praising God, and He reciprocates. So it was just a thing, Lord, you, and I don't know, I guess maybe it's a little bit of an obsession too, but it's just like, I've given myself to God because that's what I find valuable and worthy.
So I did that's curious. Did the heavy Christian influence stay, or is that like your platform for spirituality? I feel like that I was raised Catholic, so maybe your specific one might be different, but it was like the devil, if you were psychics, mediums, tarot. So how did that mesh with your particular Christian upbringing?
Well, so we're Pentecostal, and so Pentecostals were all very comparative to like Muslims, where the women only could wear knee length skirts or dresses or longer, couldn't show the shoulders, couldn't wear earrings, couldn't cut the hair, couldn't wear makeup. It was a very subservient religion, and the women were extremely modest.
Uh-huh.
And
is it still there? Are you still
no, that has shaped an inner part, the child side of me. So she's always there. You know what I mean? I think she's me. So under wraps, you'd probably find her. So yeah, we were against all that. There was so much fear of the devil and the enemy and witchcraft, and all that was preached to us daily. So I found God. I solidified my connection with God one night when we came home from church. And I was full of fear and dread because the moon was like an orangey tone, and it says that
blood moon.
Yeah. I was like, Lord, I'm so afraid. I don't want to go to hell.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
I thought I just didn't know. I wanted to make sure. I'm 11 years old. Oh Lord, no, I don't know. I'm scared. And then I remember a voice coming in through the left side and saying, "That's not how it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it goes." And I was like, "What?" And from there, I would create these fantasies, I guess, right? Because when you tap into your psychic gift and realm, you're tapping into the more fanatical, obsessive, dreamy, escapist side of self.
The psychic side?
Yeah, I think that
specifically, or is that you're finding a thing that happens in all people who start to unlock that kind of thing?
I think it's a doorway. I think it's some people have more of a seamless route. Some people can traverse between the realms seamlessly, where you don't have to delude, yourself. But then when you look at yourself, you probably are separate from the crowd ultimately. So you're one onto itself anyways. So you would be in a different realm anyways, although in your mind you're not deluded.
That sounds tough to navigate.
Exactly.
Sounds like the
someone who is seamlessly navigating between realms. Now, this is also what are you using your gifts for? What are you using your psychism for? What is your realm of navigation? You know what I'm saying? So that also defines where you're going with this. So my avenue or my way into this is through love, subservience, surrendering, giving over of myself, asking for love and nurturance, and trusting that the divine is going to fulfill that for me every time.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. It could, it depending on who you're talking to, that can be a little, delusional.
Could be a little what?
It can be a little delusional.
Oh yeah, no, I had some things happen to me a few years ago akin to a Kundalini awakening. The whole full body electric jolt madness had lasted a few days, and I felt delusional, even though it specifically happened to me as and under no influences, no nothing, not a dream time, not even. It was just like I was sober, laying on my bed, boom. But I still, to this day, feel delusional describing it and how it happened and like what I felt and how I felt like I was on drugs a few days following that. Like I felt like I was on a moderate dose of Adderall, but I could sleep on the drop of a dime, wake up when I needed it. Felt connected to everyone, super euphoric, just like a general feeling of you. It was just, but I have since lost it because I guess life got in the way. Oh, the babes.
Oh yeah, my 2-year-old, she's like sneaking out of bed.
She's 2?
He's 2.
Oh, he's 2, the little boy?
Crazy hair.
I know, my son will be 3 and has wild hair like that too. Not that long.
We'll be 3 in April. And look, she has like Oreos and cookies and all that stuff. We were just watching a family movie and having takeout and all that.
Oh, nice. April what? When's your birthday?
April 30th. No, that's not funny. Give me one moment, okay?
Yeah, do your thing. Yeah, do your thing. I'll adjust the room because I haven't yet. What's up, everyone? How's it going? Michael, Quadruple Savs, Lemuria, Michael, Shalvit Israel. That's a cool name. Will my business be highly prosperous this new year? We just up and came with the tarot questions, eh? Shit, I would like to know the answer to that too. Monica, hello, Monica, how's it going? Real talk, we're gonna get into some, or at least I would like to get into some tarot stuff in the near future. We usually do. Where's that? I lost you guys' comments though. Let me pull that back up on the thing. It is a frigid winter over here in Southern California so far. I don't know if you can see my breath on camera. We got to run our lives outside because that's where the Man of Letters Den is. But please feel free to ask all the questions. Ja, we're getting into a little bit of Ja's background and backstory. And I feel like I always run all my homies that I end up reaching out to and putting something together like a live. We always have a heavy Christian influence. I guess most people are Christian, to be fair, but at least heavy. Like I went to a Catholic school growing up. So we're doing masses every week. I had the first Holy Communion. I was doing the confessionals at the age of 10. Going to confession as a 10-year-old is a weird 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old is a weird thing to be going to confession. A weird time. Anywho, Jaws, I would like to get into that psychic stuff a little bit. Do any of you guys dabble with increasing your psychic abilities? I know I tried for a bit when I was doing my Kundalini stuff, but then I started feeling like a madman, so I had to slow my roll a bit. And now I've been in the trenches for such a long time that I feel like I went forward 5 steps and went back 2, maybe 2.5 at times. But now I feel like I've taken another step in the past month or so. So, there's a bunch of stuff. I mean, my favorite has always been dabbling in the dream world, whether it's lucid dreaming specifically or like astral projection through lucid dreaming or that whole realm. I don't know.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. I have to have my lives outside because my son does the same thing, but he'll probably come sprinting out here. At some point.
Your son look like you?
A lot.
Oh.
A lot. Why do you ask?
I can feel it.
He does look a lot like me, my little babes. What's up, Agent Smith? Thanks for blasting all my paraphernalia. I don't know what happened with my joint, man. I rolled it. I might have rolled it too tight because it keeps going up.
Just massage a little bit.
Oh, is that the technique? All right. I'm almost ashamed to admit it, but or not. I don't know how to roll joints. So I've always just liked tight little joint rollers.
Yeah, I started off with those. You need a smaller paper. I do the zigzag orange 1 1/4. I find that that's the easiest one to roll, and it burns very evenly. It burns nicely.
Nice. Yeah, I like the clean little stogie look of the rolled one. So
no, that's good.
You know what I mean? The only thing is I feel not cool when I'm with the homies and I have to tell them that I can't. I have to remind them that I can't. And they're like, oh yeah, I come bearing herb all the time. I'm the dude with jars upon jars, but I don't know. I don't know. I just never got around to rolling.
It's a tuck and roll. So you like want to tuck the paper in and roll, tuck it in and roll. So you almost want to pinch it underneath itself. So tuck it and then push it onto itself.
But do you roll it first before you do the tuck to get it in a ball?
I do half and half. So I'll like tuck half in, kind of semi-roll it, then tuck the other half and then roll it.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I might just stick with my roller until death. I'll just be that guy.
Just mess up a few papers and throw them out, you're not going to hurt anyone.
True.
So you Kundalini awakening while laying down?
Yeah, I was doing a whole program that I found online of a couple meditations and then a couple Kundalini chants and poses and stuff like that. And I was doing the abstinence from sex, etc., for like 3 months. Yeah, and so I was doing that for a while, and then I started feeling buggy in the head, which is what the warning signs are talking about. And they just kept getting worse and worse. I felt like kind of like a low-key crazy person. And so I stopped. My homegirl was like, yeah, that shit's no joke. You just stop, if it's too much. So I stopped. And then like a week after that, I was just chilling, listening to some Alan Watts, laying on the bed. And it was like after the gym and sauna, so I was just super relaxed. And I just had this fucking like full body orgasmic Kundalini thing happen. It was all brought on by just the mind, and it happened. And I was able to do it 3 different times at will. I felt like someone plugged my body into a car battery. Like I was literally shaking, like fucking shaking.
Like convulsing.
What's that?
Like convulsing.
Convulsing, verbatim convulsing. And it was weird. And so after, like throughout that next week, I could bring it on easier. It was never as strong as that first time, but it was still convulsions. Like it was wild. But I could move my concentration to like my foot or my knee or the top of my head or my heart, and wherever my thought would go, that's where the origin of the convulsions would start. But it would be like a euphoric, pleasurable, as compared to like the root-based pleasure that I felt the first time it happened. It was like super, like that kind of energy. And that's, then like the week after that, it was just, my thoughts were clear. I feel like I was on drugs, like a little bit of Adderall, a little bit of LSD, maybe some mushies, but like the perfect combination of all of them, plus complete relaxation and clear-headedness. You know what I mean? It was like all the bonuses of everything and none of the negatives of everything. And it lasted steady, strong for probably a week, and then it settled down. And then there's a couple things that where I can tap into it. It's like I, especially playing music or dancing or moving or something, it's almost like I don't know, I can't explain it, but I feel like I've slowly been losing that power,
No, not at all. That's so it's just like a matter of tapping into your sacral feminine energy and putting yourself back into a receiving state.
It is, yeah, it's totally, that's what it feels like, just getting out of the way. Like, all right, I'm just to find this feeling and then like let go of it or give into it or something or something like that.
Gently. So with controlled breath.
Yeah. So when it happened before the first instigation, I was laying in bed for probably took about half hour for it to kick in. And I noticed the first sensation rising and I was like, what the fuck is that? That's weird. And so I concentrated on it and it would grow. But what I found was what made it grow the fastest was breathing rhythmically, like timed breathing, like music, like keeping a tempo. If I could, the steadier tempo I could keep with the breathing, regardless of how fast it was, it would grow like way fucking faster, way faster. It was so cool. That's what I mean. I describe it and I feel like a crazy person talking about it. But it was like, I swear to God, it was pretty wild and amazing.
It's nice to hear you express your experience with such clarity, because I could attest for all of that. Everything that you just said, I can attest for all of that. So I understand truly that you've had a real experience, So this clarity now, because did you feel like you went back to your normal self? Not really. You
like
never
at any point? Like did it before? Not at all, no. Not at all. But not in a substantial way, more of in like I understand that I have a sort of ace up my sleeve in any given situation. Because like now I over the years I've learned that I can tap into it for any situation, not just a meditative state, but talking to someone or having a conversation with someone or playing an instrument, like anything. I just sort of use that same thought process and plug it into whatever I'm doing. So like that's always in the back of my head. I don't think I'll ever go back, even if it's not as strong as it once was.
I think that's masculine clarity, first of all. So I think I think you might be confusing your intuitive sectors. So what I'm understanding is that when you first had your Kundalini awakening, it came, obviously it was your root was awakened, your sacral was awakened, and then your heart, apparently, because there was euphoria.
Yeah, and my chest was a big spot for the convulsions too. It was like the Aliens movie, when that thing pops out of the chest. It was like that, almost an invisible alien popping out of my chest.
Mm-hmm. Something was being pulled out.
Yeah.
So, and then once the effects of that subsided, you had a new mental clarity.
Yes, 100%.
Which is the awakening of your masculine intuition. That psychic it's a masculine center more so than emotionally based.
Nice. I like to use masculine with intuition. I don't think I usually hear intuition with more of the feminine side.
Well, you would be thinking of the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is the gut, which is your first primal brain, which is where all of like your emotional responses are happening anyways, truly, if you think about it, you know what I mean, due to chemical release. Mm. Solar plexus is a masculine, clear, egoic knowing. Very clear there, just knows, it has clear sight. And it brings you balance, versus the feminine can be a little bit more chaotic and dark and then dreamy and a little bit more delusional and emotional in the way that it receives its information.
Or information out there.
Hmm?
Or puts information out there. Receives or delivers.
Yeah, it would receive more so, and then the solar plexus would synthesize.
Nice timing with the hiccups, by the way.
Or like a speech thing.
Oh, really?
The quirk, yeah.
Oh, oh, that's right. Never mind. I'm gonna take a step over to the comment section. What up, squad? I know I usually come greet you guys and stuff, but we got into the Kundalini stuff, and I can go down that rabbit hole for a bit. Starseed, Lemuria, Salavi, Smith. Thank you guys for coming through, saying what up, what up, what up. Michael quadruple sevens says you got skills.
Oh,
Damn. She said I'll see you on the floor, dude.
who are you talking to?
The chat room. If you want to see the chats, you can.
That's
Just,
okay. I'll stay on this side.
yeah, it's actually kind of difficult to juggle the chat room plus our Zoom room, but it shall be done. Psychic or schizophrenic? What's up? Thinking both. Fuck. How do you feel? All right, you go first. How do you feel? The difference between is there a difference between schizophrenics and psychics? Sometimes I feel like they might be psychics gone wrong, or like their power consumed them. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yes. So schizophrenia is actually like, to say, like, for lack of a better term, like demonic legions embedded in this person's psyche. So it's more than it's basically entities that have, it was opened through a psychic faculty, apparently, maybe through like a psychological trauma, an emotional trauma, or physical trauma that affected the psyche, which then punctured holes into maybe the crown chakra, the third eye, creating space for other entities and or voices, which is communicating to you via the same psychic faculties that maybe a clairvoyant, someone who's clear.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then it sort of manifests as schizophrenia versus being called a gift of psychism. So it's an infestation of multiple energy sources that are either disintegrated, scattered, of our own personality.
I was gonna ask, yeah, sometimes you think it could be the own personality or something.
There's a lot of but sometimes, but a lot of the times it's not.
Do you work with stuff like that in your psychic practice? You have that's your practice, and you were explaining to me before. Is that it?
Well, I'm a so I've mastered the arts. I hate to freaking say it like that, but I haven't mastered. I can do everything because I'm an open vessel. I can. No, so for me, I'm naturally a healer because I know how to use my vision. I know how to manipulate energy, not only with my hands, but with my vision, using visuals, using meditation, going in, stilling, moving things, manipulating things, whether on an emotional sphere or on a visionary sphere. So being psychic gives me a gateway ability to be a healer. But in order to be psychic, you have to be adept at what's going on in the psyche, which means you're able to listen and hear the subconscious mind. So I hear people's subconscious mind. Like I could hear maybe your back chatter,
Even over the video?
Yeah. Definitely.
I guess it wouldn't matter, right? If you're tapped in, you're tapped in.
Yeah, that never matters.
I was gonna say something and I forgot.
I don't even have to see you.
Really?
Friend could be talking about you.
Can you turn it off, or is it just like, is it like the movies where you kind of have to?
It's always on
from someone.
It's always on, but it's more like a low hum of communication, like this, and you're like, huh? What was that? And then I can just turn it up. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh shit. Like it sounds like a radio wave then. Like you're listening for the radio wave and you gotta like dial it in just right.
But you feel it. Because when you're messing with that dial tune, you're feeling.
That's why for sure.
Right? You're like
yeah. you drop all things. You just like, hold on, I need 5 to dial. That's cool. It sounds like what I was doing for that Kundalini. So I've explained that Kundalini thing to a bunch of different people now, and at least once, heavily, maybe twice, it was brought up to me. It was like, oh, that wasn't a Kundalini waking, that was something else. Everyone gets confused with these other things, and I couldn't help but think, are all these things not the same fucking thing called a different name? Maybe have a different flavor because one's flavored with honey instead of molasses, you know what I mean? But in the end, it's all, you've now gone 2.0, unlocked the energy chain, aligned something, tapped into something to one degree or another, or is it like really that different, these different types of experiences?
You could really understand the Kundalini signature by how horny you are.
It was definitely Kundalini then, if that's it. It was that whole first second thing was
constantly on. You're like, oh my God, I'm just so lit right now. So,
all right.
yeah.
So what are the other ones then?
Um, well, it depends on what you're working on, because sometimes you can experience an awakening as a healing or a removal of a blockage or an awareness of something that you weren't aware of before, that is just like mind blowing, like a eureka moment. So I don't think you are confusing your experience at all. I don't think that there's multiple different ways of having a Kundalini awakening, but I think there's spiritual feelings and phenomena that maybe people misidentify.
Yeah. So would you say that Kundalini is tied to a specific chakra?
Yes, your
Sacral?
sacral.
So do each chakras have their own Kundalini awakening, except a different awake, or is that a thing? Can we make that a thing? Because that sounds dope.
She will awaken it all. So the sacral will awaken all of them. So once it's open, and so the Kundalini essentially is sleeping at the base of the spine. So you can say even like the root chakra, if it's right at the coccyx. And then once it awakens, it travels up and then it lights up the sacral. And that life force energy turns everything on. Whoa, you can have another awakening through the heart center. So you can open up your heart and not have and be turned on that way. You know what I mean? So it's like, like a different kind of, so you can go heart down and up, but the heart is not very easy to open. Basically, the sacral is a lot easier to open for apparent reasons, but the heart,
I was about to say, in fact, we're definitely very human and very animal still. But that makes sense. After that first day, and I was sort of over the rush of things, I was able to change the origin of that energy release, and it didn't always feel like a churned on sensation. I could put it on my chest or at my head, and it, like when I put it on my head, it wasn't like a horniness. It was like I was getting a head massage, like I'm at the barbershop and they're giving you it. Like it just felt euphoric in that sense. So it was definitely changes, or was changing for a bit.
because of that constantly as of late, like just feels so good. And you know what I do to keep it turned on?
What?
Thank God for it constantly.
Oh, well, yeah, in fact, yeah.
Well, because because it's like, oh, I feel this, I'm afraid I'm going to lose it. Or I'm afraid it's not as intense anymore. Oh, it's not as intense as it was. I'm losing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what are you saying? No, I love this. This is so good. Oh my God, I feel this all the time. Or listen, I invite more. And then when it comes back again, it'll be a little stronger. When it comes back again, it'll be a little stronger. Instead of saying it's weaker, it's weekend, it's weekend.
Yeah.
Like you're on fire.
I know. I definitely don't mean to say like I was being a little dramatic. At least I was like that for a bit, but I think this last year I've been telling or feeling as if the case is I'm just in the trenches right now with life. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're on the highs and lows, and sometimes you got to grind. Sometimes you can be a little more passive, and it's like, all right, I'm in my physical grind. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't have as much time for the spiritual practices, but I'm like growing shit in the physical a little more. I'll have my time to shine, I'm like not worried about it in that sense. But listening to you say the thankfulness and all that, I was like, oh fuck, it's starting to come back a little bit. Actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's very much there, because I think that if you felt like the awareness or that feeling or that magic was present, you'd spend more time with it.
Oh yeah, 100%, definitely.
Oh, it's like
It's like I'm purposely playing cat and mouse. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well, I'll come back later when you're back again.
Yeah, that's funny.
But it's like, no, how about, it will be there when you go looking for it. How about that?
Yeah, I feel that, even if I haven't said that out loud
I know you do.
to
You're a Pisces
myself.
moon, right?
What's that?
You're Pisces moon.
Oh yeah.
That's an incredible placement.
I
How
feel
does
like
it?
it doesn't get better placed than that, is what I tell myself.
So you're a musician.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I do love I would love playing music a lot.
Feel that vibe. That little zany too. So you can get a little.
We I'm like 80% reserved, but the 20% zany is like
It just comes.
tenfold zany. So it like equals that other 80 somehow. I don't know how it works. The math doesn't add up, but I swear it shows up.
I
No.
bet. I like the twang, little twang.
Yeah. We should you were did I ask what your signs were? You should tell us what your signs are.
So I'm a Cancer Sun and Mercury. Cancer Sun, Mercury, Jupiter.
Cancer. Oh, all right. All
That's my
right.
healer. That's my healer energy.
Uh-huh.
But then Virgo moon, so that's my other healing energy.
The what moon?
Virgo moon.
Oh, okay. Um, well, the Virgos, they're healers too, eh?
Yeah. And then I'm a Leo rising.
Oh, squad. Me and the Leo gang get down. Leo gang.
Yes. And then I have that Mars in Aries, like I mentioned to you.
I pulled up my natal chart again recently. I try to look at it every so often, and there's so many Capricorn things in there.
What year?
88.
Oh, so would you have like Neptune and Uranus there?
I think so, actually. But those are the ones my whole generation has, right?
Yeah. So what else do you have there? Like Juno or some asteroid?
I would have to. I know I'm um
Mercury there.
I'm just gonna pull it up right now because this
So, so
yeah.
you have Alpha and the Omega energy is what I call it.
Alpha Omega sounds godlike. I'm down for it.
Well, because it's the beginning and the end, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So as an Aries sun, you're the beginning of the zodiac. And then as a Pisces moon, you're the end of the zodiac.
Oh, nice. That's gangster.
And they're back and they're back to back. Their backs are to each other. Literally.
What? You were talking about Capricorn in that last video. That's why I said it caught my attention. And I don't remember why I wanted to ask you, but I wanted to ask your advice for someone in Capricorn. You were bringing up 3 days ago. You did the video. You're bringing up something about Capricorn energy and having a difficult time finding out your niche, or like how are you going to get something done, or something like that. Am I making sense?
Was it the Venus Pluto conjunction in Capricorn?
That part I don't remember. I don't remember.
Hacking,
What's that?
hacking virtual realities.
Yes, that was a video. It was the hacking virtual realities one.
Yeah. So that's the Venus Pluto conjunction that's happening in Capricorn. Saturn is in Aquarius. Saturn rules Capricorn. So, I mean, there's a huge conversation happening between the two of them. It's like a lot of governmental, it's like 3D reality where the government, the governmental structures and the higher ups that be and all the powers out here in the 3D reality, police, anything, authority figures, right? That we're in this reality that's Capricorn. And then there's Aquarius, which is the internet. It's futuristic, it's the unseen, it's the metaverse. It's astral projecting and creating another reality that is outside the bounds and chains of this Capricornian, rule.
Sign me up for that last one.
Yeah, we're definitely there. We're there. And so basically combating that via your mind space by not falling into fears and or traps and blockages. And by recreating, by understanding, it's like the matrix, understanding that you create your reality with how much confidence you have within yourself, your ability to create, understanding that you are a co-creator. And then having the ruler of Capricorn and Aquarius gives this new reality a bit more of an edge, because Saturn also rules Aquarius. So Aquarius and Capricorn share a ruler, a traditional ruler, which is Saturn.
Saturn rules Aquarius too?
Yep, Saturn is the traditional ruler of Aquarius, yes.
Maybe that's why I was seeing lots of Saturn then, because I saw it in the Aquarius that popped up in my chart. And
Yes.
Anywho, you said chanting and confidence right now, or I wrote down chanting and confidence. You said confidence in creating. Could you go more on that, because that's not, or to lay it on my head's at. No one talks about confidence. I don't hear it in that term. I hear it in terms of just do something to create, or just think about this thing, but that seems very like it's like it hasn't been enough. So can you, like, what are the mechanics of confidence and how are that, bringing about manifesting? You're talking about the matrix and whatnot.
Well, confidence is usually derived from a sense of knowing something. Like you're so secure in the knowledge that you hold in a particular subject or an area that you naturally exude confidence, because you know that you can go into battle or head to head or come up with the facts or defend this thing, this notion. So confidence is a natural, like, derivative of knowing your shit, basically.
It's funny because I think of, when you say knowing your shit makes you more confident, is like, I wouldn't even say you'd have to know your skill. Like, say you're in a duel between another person, I can still feel that confidence. Say I know that I've lived a good life. Like, if I'm going to die, this is how I want to die, or I'd be proud to die here, or I'm dying for a good cause, or I'm dying to defend something. You know what I mean? It's like, even that knowing brings peace and confidence, even if it's, which could help you win the fight or not. But I'm thinking like, oh shit. So the knowledge is confidence in all aspects of how it can be used, not just a skill or getting something done. Or you can have a confidence in not knowing something because you've accepted the fact that you don't know it, which could bring you some peace and clarity, which would in turn bring you more confidence. You know what I mean?
Well, no, it definitely makes sense, because humility out of virtue automatically brings you strength.
Yeah, but you got to know, I feel like humility takes a certain amount of knowledge. Like, the more you know you don't know, and that kind of humbles you in a sense.
Yeah, the more you know that you don't know shit.
Yeah.
But then after you admit that you don't know shit, you're like, I fucking got this. Like,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But fuck, now nothing.
Yeah. Because at least then like, okay, now I can do something about it. Now I'm not bullshitting myself anymore or something.
Bow down, because you basically bow down to your higher power, to your higher principle, or your higher energy force, or your higher self, and you're like, all right, I'm surrendering to you. But to your opponent and your enemy, I'm like, I'm not fucking surrendering to you. Like, I'm not fucking done in my eyes. Like, you're fucking done. That's how I go. And that's how I operate in the spiritual realm as well, because I know who I bow down to. So when I have the go and I have the right, it's like, off with your head.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, but.
And then that confidence comes through.
Because I know.
So wait, this, that was for that reading that happened 3 days. 3 days ago. Was that something in the air at the moment?
Yeah, definitely. It's something, it's a reality it's a dual reality that's forming every day before us. It has been for the last maybe 8 years, 5 years, but more so prevalent in the last 2.
Wait, say that whole thing again. What exactly has been
so
past 8 years?
People have been awakening in the last 2 years. I mean 8 years. So maybe since like 12, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So then there's been like a split in realities basically happening, a slow one, very slow, like separation of this is real, this is not real. Like I'm on the spiritual, like I create my own reality, or no, I'm on this mundane 3D. You know, it's been slowly, the paths have been slowly going like that. But more so now with everything that's been going on the last 2 years, you know, and now on top of that, throwing differing and health issues and politics and stuff like that, now the divide is going even further. So this is something that's been building up for quite some time. That's what I meant by that. So the splitting of realities. And this is where like fear and all that, because if we're in a spiritual warfare and we're creating realities, it's like I can be on this side of the world in my nice cozy room with my heating blanket, and someone else is in a fucking bungalow in a war zone. And in their mind, the world is over. The world is over. This is something that I think about a lot, you know. These are ideas and things that I'm like, huh?
It sounds dark.
Because it's real. But it's real because we're being told it's real, or we're seeing this expressed through television set or phone or hearsay, which means we're completely out of that reality pocket bubble. We're not in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what the conscious collective is trying to do is trying to create more and different conscious reality bubbles that people can escape into and jump into for safety.
Yeah, I hear you. The problem, I think, I actually was thinking about this yesterday, was that we have to believe before we can see most of the time. I would say all the time, because if mind is the origin of things, then there's going to be some sort of delay. And this world is almost the exact opposite. I'm not believing in it unless I see it. It's like, all right, well, that allows for everything that's in existence now, but what about for everything that will be to come into existence? Like you have to believe in something to a certain degree for it to manifest, whether it's an invention or a school you want to build or a forest that you want to grow. I'm not sure why I got on that tangent. What
well,
were we talking about?
The idea of destruction before, you know, something rising, you know, I think we have to understand that chaos that have to ensue on some level, and it's going to be prevalent. It's like it's like we are limited on how much we can pocket ourselves in these realities, like you said, because not everyone is on the same page and it takes time, right? So like fighting for right now, basically. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. But it's like, fuck yeah. On one hand, I want to shake everyone and convince them this is the way. And on the other hand, I'm like, I don't care. Or not that I don't care. It's like, I can't force it on someone, and I'm driving myself crazy trying to. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't care in that sense, right? I just have had enough. I've had enough.
Well, why do we do that, right? Because, we have to think about why is it that we want to overtly bring change to another where we can witness it with our own two eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a form of seeking affirmation via the change that is visually being seen, that is undeniable?
Yeah, for sure. I'm guilty of that 100%.
So it's like I think it's about falling in love with yourself, loving life, loving your ability, and trusting. Life is about faith, having faith that's ruled by Sagittarius. It's about having vision, having a dream, seeing further, seeing beyond. And we're not quite there yet, but we're creating pathways, energies, opportunities, gateways through these visions. We're creating possibilities in this weird structure, So it's like being a visionary, being dreamy, being loving, being trusting is a big part of this,
Mm-hmm.
It's part of expansion and growth. So it's like getting away from feeling like we need to convince others, but and focusing on loving life so much that our joyousness, our vibration is so juicy and overwhelming that others are going to want some of that back.
Well, that's what, yeah. So I think maybe not my problem, but where I'm at is I don't only want to shake people to the truth, because I'm like, half of it is validation, yes, but some of it is also like just some of the most blissful moments I have had, the purest moments I've had. I'm just like, everyone needs to feel this. This is it. Like this is it. You know, like it's crazy. I'm on a mountaintop just screaming at the world, like, fuck, like stop, just go for a walk. Like, come join me in the mountains, man. I swear this is all you need. This is fucking all you need. What's that?
So you want to share that vibration.
Yeah, 100%.
Understand that you are. So when you take that amount of love and lust for life within you, and you vibrate this ecstatic happiness, gratefulness, this frequency becomes like a huge orb, and you can see it more and more, and this naturally affects the collective consciousness and subconscious frequency. You are doing your work, and you are impacting everyone around you by the most juiciest that you can do.
Damn. Yes.
Back and everyone, watch out.
Yes.
So you're doing it by being you, you know? And so you need to recognize or acknowledge that your happiness, your life force, you know, your ability to appreciate life is not going in vain. It's very much causing a ripple effect.
Yeah. I know. I'm just like impatient, I guess. Just like, fine, I'll go play outside.
Hey, be happy, become attractive, become buoyant. You are already even more so. Why not?
Wait, what's that? Say that last thing again.
I said you are already those things, but become more so. Why not?
Yeah.
Attractive, buoyant, excited.
I know. I need to realize that that's probably the best way, is to actually just do it myself and really not worry about the rest.
No, just worry about fueling this or propelling this energy source within you. Because then when I come in contact with you, I'm like, wow, like you feel good.
And that shit true, man. You're around people like that who are on it, and you can feel it. You just leave them. Those are the people you have the conversation with them, and you just stoked on life after the conversation. Just excited, motivated, or in a good place. Anywho, before we keep going, thank you, Smith, for reminding me. Would you mind introducing yourself for the squad who just came in? The people who jumped in, I haven't been paying attention. They're new. Oh, we got 18 people. Cool, we're creeping up there. Got the god number 18. Hello. John Galt. I appreciate your name so much. My son got his name impartial to John Galt's relation. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, thinking everyone, this is Ja. Ja, would you like to introduce yourself one more time?
So my name is New Age Ja. My full name is Janice, or my actual name, and I am a psychic, intuitive, clairvoyant healer. You know, aspiring philosopher, if you.
Aren't we all? Also, any paraphernalia on how the gang can find you? You mentioned Instagram was your main one. I tried looking up on Instagram. I thought I had you, but I guess I don't follow you on Instagram. Do you have Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll type it in the chat room right now.
Okay, so it's Janice, Janiece, Gabriel, Gabriel, Janice Gabriel.
Janiece, and then Gabriel, Gabriel. Cool. started reading this angel summoning book a few weeks ago, and ever since then, especially in the chat rooms and stuff, or just related to the YouTube channel, it's Gabriel's popping up, Raphael keeps popping up, Michael keeps popping up.
They like to hang out together.
And they came at the same time. Real talk. There was only like 22 people in the room.
Yeah.
And three archangels were all in the chat section, like happened to be typing in. I was like, what the fuck? That is super dope.
Yeah, they hang out together. Michael will stray on his own a lot because he likes to murk in the darkness. I don't know why. He likes to go out bad guys just because. Yeah,
nice.
And then Gabriel is more of a feminine energy, you know what I mean? Like he will like tweak your throat chakra. She's the messenger. And it could come in as a masculine, but it would be more of a softer masculine type, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel you. And
Raphael is interesting though. Raphael is a fierce protector. He's not one to sleep on, but he will stay more in the background, if you would, more in the middle. I don't know, but when he comes through, he's dope.
Who's the fourth? Is it Uriel?
Yeah, Uriel is there. Uriel is the crown chakra, and Metatron is the third eye.
Metatron, the scribe of God.
Metatron. I always work with I'm Gabriel. I always say like I carry the vibration of Gabriel. And I have a whole theory and backstory to support my claim.
I mean, I don't mind you sharing that story if you don't mind sharing that.
Well, no, it's more so like esoteric, occultic clues that put it all together. Like for example, so Leo is spiritual royalty. Leo is the solar plexus. But it's also the heart. It's the heart center. It's the seat of the soul. And Leo is spiritual royalty as per the astrological cycle, right? You have consciousness, which is Aries. Then you have the communication and spoken word, which is Gemini. And then you have the emotion, which is Cancer. And then you have the pride and or activism or the creation via Leo. So the divine expresses itself via Leo. So Cancer, sign Cancer is said to represent Gabriel, Archangel Gabriel. So Archangel Gabriel works through the influence of Cancer. It carries that vibration. So, and you can look this up. Like you can look this up. And then, so I'm a Cancer sun and Mercury. And Mercury is said, like Gemini, is like an angel. It's the communicator between God. It's the bridge, you know, the wings on the feet.
It's our Hermes.
So, communicator planet is in the sign of Gabriel. Never mind, my name is Gabriel. My last name is Gabriel.
That helps.
My name is Gabriel. And then I'm a Leo rising, which is ruled by the sun. So I come into this world marked by spiritual royalty, if you would. But the expression of that is going through the sign of Cancer, which is the Archangel Gabriel expression. Now, going back to lineage, my father is a Leo. So I'm a child. My father is the third. He's Harrison Nathaniel Gabriel the third. So I come from a succession of men of three, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And then I'm the prodigy. And so my father's, and so my father's a Leo and my grandfather's a Leo as well. So you have the spirit. If you see the lineage, it goes through my, and then I have a south node there, which shows its past lives. It's this energy that comes from many past lives. So, but then on top of that, my father is a Cancer moon, the Gabriel vibration as well.
Wow.
So there's just so many. And then I got confirmation. I've always believed this, and then I put all these frequencies, and also Archangel Gabriel rules all these colors as well. Interesting. These soft, greasy, green, foamy colors.
The ocean.
My grandfather, so he would be the second of the trilogy, passed away last year, and he had dementia. And so when you have dementia, you're really close on that spiritual rock,
Grandma's got it.
right?
Yeah.
So you on the darker end of things, or you can be on the higher section of things, which is why some people with dementia can be scary as fuck, or some can be ultimate bliss because they're so close to God.
That's interesting.
So my father thankfully was close to God.
Mm-hmm.
So he would have these lucid moments where he would channel information from the divine. Like he'd literally pop a message through like,
oh shit, Gramps.
whoa. And then I made it a habit. I started calling him every day, right? Because I was like, what else, right? And then
the pad and paper behind him, like,
no, I'd be like,
what? One more time.
So then he would be like, I have nothing to say to you. And then he'd like walk away, and I'm like, yeah. But one before his death, you know, in conversation, he was like, I'm Angel Gabriel.
Oh, damn.
And I was like, what? I knew it. I'm Angel Gabriel. And my grandfather, you know what I mean? He identified himself as that, and I never knew that.
So,
yeah.
Do you do this? Well, not this, but back to what you were saying before, as a service to people. Like you, it sounded as if you put together an avatar, a functional, purpose-driven avatar with your horoscope setup. Right? Is that what you did back there? That's what it seemed like.
Oh, so I just I'm able to back it up with my natal chart basically and my family lineage.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's definitely because I was thinking it might be a cool idea. I don't know if anyone's tried this, but if you put like, that means everyone would have a sort of entity that you could put together using their natal chart. You know what I mean? An extremely specific entity. You know?
Yes.
That's what was being painted in my head when you're describing the way all that unfolded for you. I was like, whoa, that's cool. Is that something she does for like clients or something like that?
Is to go and look for it. You know what I mean? If say you have an inclination, some people come to me all the time. They're like, I think I know who I was in a past life. And I'm like, tell me and I'll confirm it for you.
Can I do that? Because I got a cool one.
Tell me. I mean, I can look. I would love to look at your chart.
Yeah. Well, I there was these three women, and they tranced out at the same time, straight fucking Greek style. What's the ladies at the top of that mountain they would climb to get the oracles at Delphi? It was like that. Three women, and they did their thing, and they basically said that I was a spice trader in one life. I would just travel the world trading spices, like back in wooden ship days. And then another one was a commander of a ship in the Navy in the Pacific. I don't know why they kept getting boat stuff, but they nailed it because I trade on my Etsy shop. Like that's my thing. Frankincense. I grow frankincense trees and resins and like spices and stuff like that, and sell them on my Etsy shop.
Yeah, you were a tribal leader.
That's a new one though. That's a new one.
No, but everything the ladies told you is in light of actually your role and position was of a tribal leader, even though you were maybe on a ship or something else, but like you were head of your position, but it was very tribal, very primal.
Like older, or just like as a type of energy? What do you mean?
Tribal meaning like there was a lot of honor in your masculinity and in your ability to lead and in your power and asserting that and being effective to your group in that way. So you were recognized as like head of the group or with like a special ability to lead or a certain lean to you. And then the spice trader stuff, I can definitely like a nomadic energy, which would also to me stem from like a very tribal or almost like going back to like, you know, like The Alchemist. You read The Alchemist?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Styling like that, but where like your roots were, there was a rootedness to you, like the very primal. I don't know how else to explain it. Very like brutish a little bit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the nomad too is what they said with the spice trade. I think specifically, and I had to find a new crew at every port. Like I was always by myself and always just picking up whoever the fuck was down at the time to help me with my boat.
I mean, I don't know if you were that, you know, I don't know how you were, you know what I mean? Because I
Uh-huh.
think if harboring goods around that type of time, you had to have some sort of edge to you. You had to
Oh
have some.
fuck yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a good point. This shit was crazy back then. Shit was super crazy back then.
Yeah, you had to be on your pivot at all times, you know, but also had to be able to carry an air of respect to you too. So when you walked into an establishment,
Yeah, I feel that.
yeah, I see that too. But you still have that.
What's that?
You still carry that. You still have that within you.
I do, but I feel caught. It's weird. I feel caught in between wanting to embody that, but I also feel like there's a part of me, at least in this lifestyle, where it's like maybe I should just be a little more laid back this time around. You know what I mean? Even though it's there, I don't know if I'm not saying it is or isn't. It's just like those are thoughts that I've been having. You know?
I think it's conflict caught between your Pisces moon, your inner nature, and your ego drive.
Yeah.
They both should be respected equally, and I think there's a time and a place for that. So when you step into an establishment, it's very well okay to step into your Arian Mars energy
Yeah.
as yourself, like, you know, because that teeter tottering that you do within can leak off like maybe a little bit of weakness or uncertainty that's not attractive because it's not who you are. When you begin to doubt yourself, it creates a mixture, twang in your energy, unsavory.
And people pick that shit up, even if they don't know they are. They're picking it up on us on a certain level.
But I know that once maybe you're challenged or confronted, your clarity comes right into play. But why does it have to get there?
Yo, you fucking just pulled words out of my soul. I've said that almost verbatim on many occasions. Yes. 100%. I work extremely well under pressure. I almost prefer to work under pressure because I work so well. But it's like I also like, do we have to get to that fucking point? Does it have to take that, Keith, or others?
Well, no, because it gives you an excuse to be a little rough around the edge. You don't need permission to be that.
Well, that's an interesting thought.
You know what I mean? You're
understanding for sure.
You feel like, all right, now I have a reasoning to be intense now, you know?
Damn, I'm just having light bulb after light bulb go off.
Okay,
I went to university playing baseball, and one of the things about it was I would make more errors on routine plays than the extremely difficult ones. You know what I mean? And it was, I don't know how, but it feels like it falls in there with what you're trying to describe as like I don't think about it when it's a routine play. I'm either thinking too much or I'm expected to make, you know, I don't know what it is, but it's like it's somewhere in there. You know what I mean? It's somewhere in there.
passive because you know what to expect, but then you're like, I'm supposed to act in routine, so I already know what I'm supposed to do, so I don't need to have my fight or flight response on, so that puts me in a passive position.
Kind of.
Instead of it being too, you're like, ooh, what's gonna come to me? I need to be quick.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if that it's like the word you used earlier was that brutish? Did you say brutish or some kind or rough around the edges? Is like I love that shit, rough around the edges. It's like, you know, it's like, all right, now I'm getting dirty and I don't even have to look. I wouldn't have to look at the other player to know where he was and just pull off an outstanding play. Because it was like everything about that energy was what I loved as compared to the routine play where I just wait for it and I hit it and then it goes. Then it's like
Don't
I
you
would
like
fuck that one up. I would fuck that one up.
because you don't do well when you're being too nice. Although some situations require you to be nice and gentle, you know, maybe like when you're talking to a female or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But you do well when you hurt some feelings a little bit. You know what I mean? No.
I'm sorry.
Poke at a couple, you know, like, you know, not to be a menace or anything, but because it's just a part of asserting yourself, you know. And men seem to do well with that, from what I'm understanding. Like, when one man knows himself better than maybe the men around them do, then they're more willing to like follow suit or something, or take a little bang over the head or something like that.
Oh, from like sort of like a alpha to beta perspective kind of animal. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I get that way if I know. Yeah, no, I see where you come from. As like, if there's a group of guys and they're all like more or less aware of themselves and shit, know when they're fucking up, and if you come at them sideways, they'd be like, "Yeah, you're right." You know what I mean? Even if you said some shit or like called them out, and they're like, "Damn, I thought we was cool." You're right, but I thought it was cool, dog. Look back.
Sometimes you need to cut people a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you help them.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And not everyone has that gift or ability. That's what I'm saying. It's like, in my practice, I can't approach people like that. Like, I can't go around hurting feelings or being straight or cutting. I can't. Like, maybe I use that as a last resort. You know what I mean? Like, if I just repeat myself 10 times and you're still on this loop, and I'm gonna have to like just cut it real quick. But you know, that's the gift of like Aries, I think, and maybe Aquarius, is that they can be detached in what they're dishing out.
Yeah. I think. Go ahead.
I think we need, some of us need that energy from the outside. We need that fire. We need that little bit of a razor sharp, a little bit of a punch, a little bit of aggressiveness. We need that.
I'm pretty sure you just nailed it on the head as to why I hesitate so much with starting a superficial practice of helping people, consulting people, strategizing business, spiritual, anything, being like a coach, basically. And I've tried it a few times, and that's what I'm afraid of. Is I feel like I can't talk to people because what I want to say is like the spiritual world is super, or at least it's portrayed as soft and passive and fluffy, and you know what I mean. And so I'm like, that ain't my style. At least not that's not how I want my style to be. You know, and someone left a comment on my video recently, and I was like, yo, fuck, chill. I was like, this, that, and that, and this. And they were just like, woe is me. It was like a sob story. And I wanted to just like give it to him. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, relax, Keith. You know what I mean? It was like, just, you're online. I was like, this is why I can't talk to people, because I want to be like, chill out. You're overreacting. Like, breathe. Do you have a plan? No. Well, then why the fuck do you think you're like, why do you of course you feel chaotic. You don't have a plan. Do you know what you want? No, you don't know what you want. Then how do you know how to get it? Of course you, I'm just like, want to fucking,
shake them. Yes, that's exactly the medicine that you should deliver, but it's important for you to discern who deserves that energy, because even though it seems rough and straight, someone needs to be deserving of that from you.
I think maybe is that
Yeah, yes, because
so how it works.
Because you can't. It goes with the saying, don't cast your pearls upon swine.
We talk about that shit all the time on this channel. I swear I've said that line like so many times in the past, because that's been the conversation on my head the past few weeks, is like, do I stop doing that? Do we stop casting pearls before swine? Are we making it worse? Like, I'm not trying to be a martyr, you know what I mean? I'm definitely not trying to get burned at the stake. I'll happily pretend it's alchemy like they used to do. What else?
No, we stop. You know, some of my closest people in my life have had the honor of getting their fucking shit sliced by me. No, because I don't give, honestly, like, it's impactful and powerful, but it takes a lot for me to muster, for me to give that to you. when I give that part of you, of me, over to you in order to wake you up, I'm taking a vulnerable aspect of myself and balling it into your needs and like hyper rolling it into this like big impact. And that puts me in a vulnerable position because now you're going to see me in a state that you've not used to seeing me. You know, now I got to character a little.
It's weird kind of coming out of your shell to do shit like
Yeah,
that.
it is. So
Especially with certain people too.
it's an honor because if you do it correctly, the ones that you slash down, the one that you fucking cut their head off, they will come back to you in a month or two. Friend or foe. Because you did them in honor. Although you had to do it in this, maybe this brute, cut, clear, straightforward way. And again, not everybody is ready for that. Some people, you'll notice that you'll have someone in your life, you know, new or old, that just kind of eggs you. It's kind of eggs you. And they're asking for it. And they're asking for it, being like, nah, you don't deserve this. Nah, you don't deserve this. And then you give that one time, you just fucking sit them on their ass. You know what I mean? They're like you know, whole life is changed. So that's what I mean. But it's like, just because you have, so there's a couple of things that I would suggest one would do is I would visualize or set an intention as to what kind of vibration frequency you would like to attract and actually work with. Because when you're mentoring and teaching someone, you have a student or a mentee underneath you or with you, not underneath, because it's an equal exchange.
Yeah.
My energy with yours. So now I need to share energetic space with you. And just because you want me to teach you doesn't mean I want to really sit here and share the space with you. So I need to discern and or know what kind of energies I want to attract towards me and how it is I want to interact with them. Not everyone is going to be perfect. You might get a sneak attack. You might get someone is just right, and then you get to them, and then the real side comes out.
Shit.
Like, you caught me. You know what I mean? So
some sneaky bastards out there for sure.
Setting the intention, I would like this type of client who has this kind of skill set or base knowledge underneath them. So when they encounter me, I can help them get to their next step. Not just any Tom, Harry, whatever, who's on different levels and don't know, different skill sets. It's like you need to be specific on what group that you want to attract. And then also be clear on your teaching style.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. So I wrote something down right now while you were talking. I need to fertilize the lawn out back.
Mm-hmm.
But this question is, you were in my head again. I wrote down, we need to get better at dishing it out. Whatever our style is, work on it, because you were doing a lot of talking about finding the perfect match. But I was like, well, shit, if I know my style is, that Aries file style, which it is, I've never consciously had the thought of, oh, let me work on that. Like, yeah, that's my most natural way of doing it, but too much fire gonna make the whole house burn down. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, now I can refine that skill, or maybe I can even utilize it on a wider array of people, different styles that I wouldn't normally, because I'm more of a master of that. Anywho, I'll let that cook on your noodle. I'll be right back. Give me like, I don't know, 30 seconds or so. Oh, shit.
I wish I could see the chat, but I can't.
Damn, my bad. I guess I could have put on some like intermission music or something like that. I just left you hanging high and dry. Oh yeah, because I can get super heady with these conversations, so I definitely like to reel it in um whenever at first convenience, and that was it. I was like, "Ooh, that could be a solid takeaway." Can you hear me?
Oh, of course. No, I'm listening.
Um, what was I saying? Oh, that would be a great takeaway. Like, oh, let's see what our style is of connecting and interacting with other people, and how can we make that better? Like, how can we go into our avatar with that?
And also streamlining your abilities, right? Because now we mentioned earlier when we started this, the more feminine intuition and then the more masculine one. So
Yeah, that's the I would like to explore more.
right. So we did explore it
My bad.
just a different way,
Oh,
meaning, so you told me when it's time for you to act on impulse, there's a clarity that wasn't there before, and you know exactly what to do and you perform better. That's your masculine clair. That's your masculine clair intuition. It's a mental clarity that
so,
sees everything in that moment. It's like there's it's an intuition that's up here. It's masculine, and masculine doesn't mean it's just for men. You know, it's
yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you.
you
That's
know,
why I appreciated when you said your masculine intuition. I was like, oh, dope, nice. She's speaking my language. It's like a little bit, it's like the yin and yang, a little bit of the black and the white, and then a
you,
little bit of white and the black. You know what I mean?
you in particular have both in a dramatic fashion, as your Pisces moon is the epitome of feminine.
Is it? I thought, really?
The epitome.
Oh, nice. All right, that's interesting.
Yeah, and what is feminine? Feminine is a wellspring.
Mm-hmm.
Feminine is void. Feminine is darkness. Feminine is chaos.
The pure
Feminine,
potential.
feminine is the wild grass and flowers that grow in the field, uncontrolled, uncontained. That's feminine. You know, your dream realm when you're sleeping. That's feminine. You're retreating into the self, going into the subconscious mind. That's deeply feminine. That's recessive versus masculine, straightforward.
Yeah.
Charging in, you know, I'm here. You know, you can't deny this. I'm gonna beat you. You know what I mean? Like, let's compete. You know, who can get? You know, who can? You know, but you know. So your inner nature, which is the moon, is feminine, and it's in a feminine sign, Pisces. And Pisces rules spirituality. It rules the ethereal. It rules the unseen. It rules sleep, escapism, drugs, alcoholism.
Damn. Anything that wants to change the perception or have different changes in perception.
Isolation, jail, hotel. No,
isolation too?
Yeah, isolation.
Why
So
isolation?
monks, nuns, spirit guides, like foreign lands. Pisces rules things foreign, outside, unseen, hidden.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. All right. I was like, I don't see the connection. I see it now. That makes sense.
It's also where it kind of ties it. It also rules past lives. So, you know, this just kind of having a Pisces moon to me is a very evolved soul who really wants to get it right this time. They're probably not going to come back after this incarnation.
I'd be down.
But you might want to, because your conscious being is right at the beginning in Aries. So your conscious self,
We'll send it.
soul will either die this incarnation. I'm sorry, I don't mean to. I'm not prophesizing on you. I'm not you in a way that you don't accept, kind of expressing a little bit what I'm intuiting, but it doesn't mean anything unless, you know, you can completely reject it. It's in your power, you know?
Copy that.
So the Pisces moon the soul has made the full lap around through the whole zodiac. and knew what it felt like to be an Aries on a soul level, and knew what it communicative, and knows what it like to be nurturing and homey and protective and organizing and picky and then traveling and uncommittal, but then hardworking. Like, it knows how to be all of it on a soul level. You feel like you've been here before. It's like you don't really, there's nothing more for you to do. But on a conscious, maybe more masculine mental level, you feel like you're just getting started. The beginning, you're in Aries, like we're just getting going, like you know. So this could be like a major evolutionary step for you in regards to soul. Maybe your soul might elevate to a new ranking and manifest itself as something different. You know what I mean? With the same concept now, you know, something like that.
That sounds gangster. That sounds super dope. Sounds like I don't care where I'm going next. It's going to be super.
No, you're good. You have your tools, you know. I see you. When you emailed me, when I received the email, I was like, what is this? Because I trust who comes into my net. Like, I trust who comes into my web, actually. And because I pray.
Interesting choice. So interesting choice from net to web.
It's true. It's both. As the internet is a net and a web.
Correct, but you chose the word web as if like to capture and you know, trap specific, like well, there's a spider, you know, what there's a web involved. I know, that's why I said interesting choice of words. I was like, all right, it's web. Noted. Noted.
Right. And what is
my lyric said the spider to the fly.
No, spiders create spiders weave from the unknown.
Oh yeah. I was making a bad joke. I'm sorry.
I know, I love it. So yes, capture. Because I'm particular. I realize I'm a bit of a spider. Like, you know, I can be alluring, but I'm a little like, you know. For you to make it into the web clearly as well, like you were spoken clearly. That said a lot to me. I was like, oh, okay. Divine sent me something here, or divine opened the door for someone here. This is really nice. Let me open the door, let me respond. Because I knew immediately, due to the clarity of your energy and going on. So then I hopped onto your YouTube real quick. I think I like tuned into like one video. I wanted to because of my ability, I can just absorb you kind of right away. And to know you, I didn't want to judge you based on your videos. So it was just like, let me look at who I'm talking to, I'm dealing with, and
that's
then
fair. Is this guy a kook? Like, who the fuck's this dude? I was like, yeah, that's fair. Like, I could be a kook or whatever, you know.
No, I just want why not? You mentioned your YouTube, I go look at it real quick. And then exchange, and this is our first actual conversation. Like, we haven't had no exchange, you know?
Correct.
So
actually, far less than usual. Far less than usual.
What do you mean?
Like, normally I would set something up beforehand with people who I haven't met if I get on the channel to talk. I'm like, all right, just to get comfy, but we didn't talk at all. Literally, I was like, here's the link to the Zoom. Not even, nothing, no brief, no nothing.
You were relaxed, right? You were trusting of it because
100%.
It's divinely ordained in some way. That's how I feel, anyways. No, listen. Okay, so can we talk about this?
What is this?
That what you just did. Can we talk about that?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
This was me acknowledging the higher power and its move making.
And it's move making.
Yeah, like it's just fucking like. Sorry. So what was happening in my head was, I'm rereading this book called The Celestine Prophecy that talked about everything you just talked about with when someone comes in, you got a feeling, you know, you go with it, and the whole book is that, and how these synchronicities should be followed because they give you more power, raise your frequency, which gives you more synchronicities, and it's like this positive feedback. So I was like, all right, dope, I'm gonna do that. And this guy got something from my Etsy shop, and left me a note. He's like, "Hey, love what you do, man. Like, you should email me sometime." And I never fucking email random people like that. But I was like, noted. All right. Like, everything seems to be in alignment. Emailed him, and he just hit me between a few correspondences with 2 or 3 gems, just absolute gems of knowledge, where I was like, damn, dude, I needed that. Thanks for the thoughtful words and like the message. And that's why I was like, fucking like, all right. I was like, noted universe. So that's what that was all about.
So right. So that was the whole point of my whole thing with you, is that you have the energy is there. It's just I can see that there's like a switch. You had like either a doubt or a switch in regards to your belief system or your practice.
Interesting. All right.
I don't know what you did. It's like you almost failed yourself, or you almost gave up on yourself somewhere. I don't know where that was or what it's doing, but the residue that is still in.
Yes. It's all that. I'm gonna what is that?
Aligning.
The aura?
Yeah, your heart center. You have. Mm-hmm.
Are you?
It was big. That was big. You didn't even open it up all the way.
I rarely do. I rarely do, at least in front of people.
Next, I mean, we should read your chart online.
Super down. I like at a separate time or what?
Yeah, we can come and do whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what time is it? No, it's 10:34. I don't know. Is there a way that you can pull up your chart? I can look at it real quick.
I mean, I already had it pulled up for earlier, but we moved on, so I dropped it. But it's here, so I will just send you the link on the chat.
Okay.
So in the Zoom chat is the chart pull up. Also, hello, anyone who's just tuning in. We're just vibing for the most part. This is Ja. Everyone say thank you, Ja, for coming in and dropping knowledge on us. I've been getting a whole bunch of.
What? You didn't tell me. You're a Pisces rising, not an Aquarius rising.
Did I type? No, I'm not Pisces rising.
100%.
I might have typed it. I might have typed in the wrong info. I was like typing it while I was trying to listen to you.
Double check.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check.
Do you read the tarot?
What's that?
Do you read tarot?
Do I read tarot? I mean, I'll pull tarot cards for sure. I don't have them memorized or anything like that, so I'll just like pull them and read the meaning and then vibe from there, which I actually really enjoy doing. I don't have them all memorized, if that's what you're asking.
No, just you don't have to memorize them in order to be able to read them.
That's a good point. Then to answer your question, yes, 100%, I do, and I've really been enjoying it too. Where is it? Wait, something's going on. Did we just hit a mandala effect? Oh, it says missing coordinates. How do you mean missing coordinates?
Latitude, longitude. So you didn't enter your city and state?
I entered the city and state. That's why it's
Why don't you go to astro.com?
astro-seek.com?
Oh, just astro.com.
See, I probably just entered my info into a porn website cloaked as spirituality.
No, AstroSeek is good. AstroSeek is
okay.
good.
It's like, great, now I'm gonna get emails.
No, that's a good one. That's a very good one, actually. Very good.
Okay, let me pull up the free horoscopes. Says like location astrology. It's not that. Balls, what's going on? What if I give you probably have.
Yeah, let me grab.
Let's see who does it first. 14. Okay, cool. I just sent it to you. Haven't checked the stream. Oh, hello, welcomers. Hello, new friends. What's cracking? Take your shoes off. Stay a while. We got Jaw in here. Yesenia Smith, Devontae Bostic, JHDs. Well, we got a whole bunch of squad members in here. Sorry, I haven't been reading you guys' comments too much. It's hard to keep up with comments when I'm hosting the friends. So if I miss something really important, feel free to just leave it again. John Galt is still in here. Dude, don't you have a world to be usurping right now? If you guys don't know, John Galt is a character from the book called Atlas Shrugged. And in the book, whenever someone would ask an unanswerable question like why can't people be good? The response in the book would be, I don't know, who is John Galt? And it's like, I don't know what the fuck John Galt is. Like, that's just a wildly vague question that there's no answer to. And so, John Galt, I appreciate your ironic presence in the chat rooms. And everyone else, thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for joining us tonight. Were you able to find anything, or should I stopped looking.
Almost there.
If it tells me that I'm what did it say? Aquarius or a Pisces rising?
Oh no. So okay. So if everything is correct, you are an Aquarius rising. Okay. So I think the other thing was just missing your.
Yeah, it was weird because the chart looked like mine. That's why I sent it to you when it has the lines going everywhere. So I assumed it was right, but I guess like one crucial part must have been missing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so your Pisces moon also conjuncts your North Node. What the hell? You are not even supposed to be like
alive. How did you get here? Who let you in?
Oh, you have a Venus in Gemini. You have a Venus in Gemini. Did you know that?
I did know that.
I have a Venus in Gemini.
Oh, what up? Nice. Squad.
Gemini crew.
Nice. So, I feel like I either get criticized for that or squad.
No, Venus and Geminis are so talented. I find that being a Venus and Gemini, we have so many creative talents or so many creative avenues. Like, there's really nothing that a Venus Gemini cannot do. You know, we have the ability to learn quickly, pick up skill quickly if we're really interested. Mm-hmm. And we're also able to hold multiple hobbies and crafts at the same time. Like, mm-hmm. and intermix like genres into one like ultimate creative stimulative like thing. Yeah. So it's like, and it's also like you can be listening to music while freaking like researching, while listening to like a guided meditation. You know what I mean? For a lot of stimulation and like craves it. It's like listening.
I know. I've been feeling like that's a problem though. Lately, I've been like, do I need to chill with this overstimulation, or do I need to just
feel good?
allow it to happen?
It feels so good, and I think it's a good thing because Venus in Vedic astrology is actually your life force, which brings us back to the sacral chakra, the Kundalini. Venus.
Mm-hmm.
So all of like these Gemini things, social media, like emailing, texting, like editing, you know, maybe you're making music or you're writing music or something like that. All of that gives us life. All of that brings out the beauty within that brings out our charm, our charisma.
Yeah.
So it could be the of all trades, and the master of none, or the jack of all. You know what I mean? We have the potential, the capacity to get really good at least 5 things.
I am really fucking good at least 5 things, if not a handful more.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of like, I don't know. I just, when I'm stoked on something, I'm fucking all in. I'm like all in all day, all for until necessary, really.
And you're supposed to be creating these alternative realities, which is interesting that we were talking about that, because you are an Aquarius rising, which is, you're a part of bringing in, or you represent this new age in some way. When people encounter you, they see something that is a little bit different, inspiring, but that carries them into the future.
Nice.
You may not completely recognize it because you're not standing in this mirror all day. You're just being yourself and others are experiencing you. Mm-hmm. So on top of that, your inner nature is very dreamy and creates like these expansive reality, or maybe one big one that you do all this kind of stuff, and you just said you stay in it all day. I can stay in it too. I know I do. As a 12th houser, but your north node is there. That's your destiny point. So like you are going to be insatiable in the areas of creating, maybe video gaming, programming also. Studies, meditation, yoga retreats.
Would you say so yes, I couldn't agree more with all that, but would you say like, so sometimes I feel like I've even said this out loud, where the studying and the philosophizing, the spirituality is like, that may be how I choose to express a certain interest, but like I don't necessarily care about ascending or about like making, you know what I mean? I just happen to be fascinated with it. Am I making sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes, because you represent the ascended.
So what does that mean? I've already been there, so it's just a love for thing.
Embody it. So the divine is choosing to express itself by who you are exactly as you are.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing for you to necessarily reach for, if you would. It wouldn't be satisfying.
Yeah.
But you do have the potential to be a whistleblower and or an investigator. I'm pretty sure you'd have a pretty fun time digging up some people, like putting some real people on your fuck. Like, I think you have the ability to pull up some shit that's really deeply dark and hidden and have people face that, look at it. And not like even criminal level, like really serious stuff, You can find out all kinds of things and criminal and like things that people aren't supposed to be doing shit, like the black web, like you have the ability to find out shit that people want to stay hidden. Like people can't hide stuff.
Yeah.
And then you can have really good joy too on pulling people's cards as well, because there's some really tricky ass people here that are just like low and smooth, and you on the outside they can appear gaudy or they're really mean or treat people bad, and you can just easily just pull their card. Like, boom.
Yo, I love doing that, but I also I like enjoy it. I like enjoy being around people like that because it's almost like a game. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, that's why I was having this conversation with someone recently about having conversations with like strangers and how I enjoy it more, because it's like there's no filter. With strangers, like, all right, I can call out a stranger with ease on bullshit and they'll laugh like, you know what I mean?
Are these the conversations?
What's that?
Would this fit into like a bar conversation where everyone's just
this crew? No, because there's people watching.
Oh, wow. What does that mean?
The stranger thing is like, or at least on my end, I don't feel any sort of like the pressure of expectation with a stranger. You know what I mean? You're probably never going to see him again, and they're not going to judge you because they don't know you to begin with, for the most part. So you can have these conversations where you get super deep or you'll explain your woe is me story to someone, and they'll be like, dude, you're fucking what? Like, and just throw it back and be like, oh, yeah, you're right. Or I don't know. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you can be pretty tricky, basically.
Yeah, I love the trickster energy, man. That's just my
Stop.
favorite.
It's terrible. You can lure someone into, you can bring someone into the shadiest corner and they'll go in there skipping, they won't
I
even
mean,
know.
if I went dark side, I could probably with ease.
Like, want this kid? And they like come here and they're like, yeah. And you're like, oh no. Or
you should hear.
It was a lie.
Wasn't it fun though? Didn't you have a great time? Don't fucking lie to me. I know you had a great time. It's your lie to me. You knew. You do. I can pretend.
So devious. How is that funny to you? See how you find that funny? Oh my god. And then
this is why I don't like having these conversations in front of people. That's you have your answer.
Yeah. Oh, and then but also like you get to see people for who they are in these scenarios.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. That's like the light side. That's my favorite part of it. It's like I want to like show me the real you. You know what I mean? Don't give me that fucking But
that is the light side of it, and make comfortable in that.
I mean, I would say every like superpower has its super dark power. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. And okay, so
Dagny Tagger. Do I see Dagny Tagger in the comment section? John Gall, it's you. Of course, it's you. Nice. Sorry, that was a thought vomit. They said Josh seems down to create value on a whim. Ooh, t-shirt idea. Down to create value on a whim. That's got to be your new slogan, or your new catchphrase.
Okay. So I was looking at the Placidus system and now I'm looking at whole sign. I like to look at whole sign. It's like looking at, if I walk into your room, I'm going to find out a lot of things about you, right? So if I look at it messy, that's going to show me one aspect of you. But when I see it organized and clean, it shows me another aspect of you, right? So that's how I look at Placidus and whole. So Placidus kind of like your things sprawled out a little bit, like you're comfortable, like, like your socks on your, on your nightstand or something, you know what I mean? And then the whole side, everything's put into its compartment, your room's organized, The Placidus, I'm like, oh, okay, here's the messy room. Okay, I can see how things get a little crazy. And then now the room is neat room now. So you have a second house moon, which gives you like a Taurian influence. So were you really attached to your mom, or do you have a trinket? But having Pisces there, Pisces could dissolve the moon and feel like maybe there was a missing connection between the mother, or the opposite around, there was no boundaries between you and the mother.
It was my parents got divorced and I was raised by my pops and my stepmom. If that thickens the plot.
Well, it shows the dissolving of that maternal figure in a sense. Because Pisces dissolves it. And so we tend to, having a second house moons means like we usually have like a trinket or something that we have that is emotionally soothing to us, like either as a child or something like that. Some sort of like self-soothing technique that is acquired, as a child. So like blankets, sucking the thumb, or it's like maybe an object that reminded you that emotionally anchored you.
I think it was my fantasy novels growing up.
And that tie in with the Pisces, as Pisces rules fantasy. You value a lot of things having to do with the imagination and or fantasy. I don't know, like you could probably dream up like a whole novel.
Dude, I do. When if I journal nightly and I'm really on it and don't smoke right before bed, I dream multiple days I go to sleep and wake up in the dreams and start the next day of the dream. I love my dreams. I do. I have awesome dreams.
I would use that to your advantage. So your Pisces moon is squaring your Venus in Gemini.
Uh-huh.
So the second house is traditionally ruled by Venus. So your moon is in Venus's original home, but she's in tension with Venus. So it's like, I'm in your house, but I got a problem with you, bitch. Like, I don't like you, but I'm house. You know what I mean? Like, you're not home, but I'm staying at your house.
Yeah. Oh shit.
You know, like I'm
weird energy.
well, it's like it is a little bit weird, but the whole writing thing is ruled by Mercury. Venus is in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, which is showing me some sort of conflict between your either this ability to create and dream, but actually writing it down and expressing it. So there's like some sort of like emotional conflict going on here in regards to the feminine realm. And it's a subconscious trigger because the moon is unseen, so it's subconscious. Some sort of friction is happening when you actually take what you're imagining and or value.
Uh-huh.
So you can even also heal any traumas, especially around the maternal figure, through writing, through expressing it with word, which is going to be very uncomfortable.
Uh-huh. I haven't done that. Mm-hmm. I do like writing too. Actually, I mean, it's surprising I haven't written about that, but
yeah, or it could mean a high level of expression, overwriting, overactive imagination, too much expressive need, too much talking, too much doing. Like you said, how you said you're almost worried about it going overboard.
Uh-huh.
But it was like, hold on a minute, no, I don't think so. But now that I see the square, square could overblow this like fanatical need to create and dream and express. Now, your Venus is in Gemini with Chiron. So here's another wounded healer archetype in this Gemini mercurial energy. So maybe you have some things you have to say in regards to that maternal archetype.
Yeah. Loud and clear. Loud. Not getting into it too much more. You should have done this off.
Go into it.
No, keep going. We're in it. We started it.
What's beautiful though is this is beautiful energy, because it's to me it just seems like locked up, not locked up potential, but like hidden potential, if you would. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's about like turning valves, or like valves that haven't been turned or opened. It's like it's all beautiful. It's all good. So your sun is conjunct Mercury, which is really nice, which gives you a really brilliant mind. And it's 8 degrees apart. So, and your Mercury comes first, which means you have great ego awareness of your mental process. So your ego doesn't burn out the way that you think, which is nice. Some people's egos burn out their thinking capacity.
That's funny.
But yours is close enough where you have great relation between your thought process and your inner true nature. And it's in the third house of Gemini. So here's another Gemini influence, another Mercurial influence.
I do have a lot of Gemini in my life.
Yes, you're basically an Aries living as a Gemini.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Because what does Gemini do? Gemini eats, right? Gemini talks, Gemini mingles, brothers, siblings, community, likes to be, in the local area atmosphere, it likes to spread messages. It's also travel, purchase and travel, doing this, and like being busy, active, sharing thought, expressing thought, receiving it, sharing information, exchanging. It's like, but with Aries, you do it in a very direct manner. But so I can see why you tend to lean a little bit more over to your Pisces energy, because it can be a little too. But no, but you shouldn't. That's beautiful. You should. It's the part you are, because it should be very direct. Okay. We have Jupiter in the 4th house, which is nice.
Jupiter, what up? I said, Jupiter, what up?
Yeah, Jupiter is a really nice influence, and you have it in Taurus. I mean, that's a wealth aspect.
Well, we need to unlock that, because I need more of that. What's hindering that section?
Well, I'll tell you what's hindering that section. It's Taurus, so it's ruled by Venus. So it goes right back to the last thing. It loops. It all ties into one thing. So it's about unlocking Venus, basically, which is.
Copy that.
Venus rules your psyche. But Venus also rules money and value and food and clothing and materials and home, stability. You have a Mars conjunct your ascendant, which really puts an emphasis on your masculine energy. Wow, that gives a punch to your Aries quality, as it's in sextile. So the ruler of your sign is in another masculine sign, but an intellectual, community-oriented, humanitarian-oriented side. So you use your ego and your form of communication in order to advance humanity forward by being a light bringer and harborer.
I mean, fuck, I've been trying to do it for years. That's what I'm saying. I'm almost over it now. I'm like,
you do a sword. You do it with a sword.
Oh shit.
You do it with a weapon.
I do. I do. I do.
Yeah. You're meant to puncture and pierce and break through things.
We'll keep going with that.
I mean, it's square as Pluto, though, so you could be afraid of your own power and capacity.
I've heard that, and I guess I understand that as a concept, but I don't know. I just, unless you can explain it in a way no one else has been able to, like how I could be, and I could be and not even know it, so not know how to fix it. But how can one be afraid of their own power? How does that show up? Or like, why would you be afraid of your own power?
Because of the consequences that come along with it.
The sacrifices that come along with it. I would assume in order to gain a massive amount of power, you have to have a certain amount of sacrifices to attain it, right?
And there's also consequence. Like, for example, like Martin Luther King.
Oh yeah. Got blasted.
Yeah. And this is revolving your status and your status in career, your public persona, like how you appear in the world. So it's like a little bit of a friction between who you are and how you address yourself within your daily life and living, and then how you present yourself in the public sphere. So it's like so if you have the power to take me out of command and control, would that possibly have a consequence if I was someone who is in high authority?
Wait, ask the question again.
It's almost like speaking out against crooked people, speaking out people who are doing bad things, who are dishonest.
I do that a lot on this channel.
A lot more. Well, this is your power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess recently it's been like it's almost a burnout or too much, or well, it's back to the pearls before swine thing. And I was just like, maybe this container for what I really like to do that makes me happy, of like spreading knowledge via the internet, is like, maybe that's not the best route. I don't know if there's one better. I'm not saying that my feelings are going to change about that. It was just, it was what it was. The thought was what it was at the time.
Well, I think what happens is like when we're working, let's say like, okay, so we have our, like we have these internal dual realities, like 3D reality. Like I'm a hairdresser in the 3D. I'm also a psychic in the 3D, but I do a lot of my work in the etheric realm.
Yeah.
I'm in a different reality. So if I'm doing too much work in one space, and not realizing that I'm neglecting another, I'm going to find repetition and or boredom here until I realize that I need to shift to the opposite spectrum of what it is that I've been doing. And so this, if we've been in the hypermasculine state, then we need to kind of go and pay attention to more of this, the other side of whatever that is for you.
Balance her out a bit.
Yeah, balance her out a bit. So maybe like this side now needs a little bit of attending. Like you need to prune your garden over here.
That's funny because I've just been gardening more. Like maybe I'll just do YouTube stuff on starting a garden. That sounds nice and wholesome and also helpful and spiritually uplifting and physically empowering. Like, let's just talk about plants for the next 6 months.
You can do that because you have Jupiter in Taurus, so you definitely have a green thumb. Like you could sell produce. You could probably make a business selling produce.
I just sold a $300 frankincense tree the day before yesterday. Like, I'd be slaying in the trees. I do. That's my other love, is I love growing stuff.
You have abundance there.
Have a what?
You have abundance there. So the more vegetation that you grow on your property and at home, you become.
Fuck yeah, nice, noted.
So
on it.
Probably cook very well. You probably can make medicinal herbs. You all kind of like essential oils, home remedies, like
I distill my own essential oils. Actually, I'm essential oil at one point. I'm telling you, I might just have to gnome. It's just gonna transform into a gnome for a while. Fall off the map. Like, what happened to Man of Letters? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm just gonna be under a mushroom somewhere.
You can do both. You know, you have a Pluto Jupiter opposition, and I can see where you feel like you can't do. So you have Pluto and Scorpio on your midheaven in your career. So what's Scorpio? Scorpio is taboo, karma, the chakra system, shamanism, occultism, hidden dark arts, all kind of gifts, also your demons, generational curses, generational wealth, inheritance, investigation, taxes, sex, tantra, the unseen, the taboo. This is all Scorpio. And you have Pluto there, which rules Scorpio, and you have it on the top highest point of your chart. Is to the public, in your career, you're going to appear intense and going to appear mysterious. Like, I'm looking at you, this is like straight up Scorpio vibes. So I'm like, great.
That's funny. Nice. Just my candles burning in my cold ass shed and like I got a coat on and still cold as fuck.
But it's opposite to me. I'm like very warm with this.
I know your blanket's been looking quite comfy.
And you love it. I can see that you're probably very big cuddle bug. You make others feel safe. You love having a very safe home environment. You know, you really value. You can really make an environment feel like a fortress. You know what I mean? You can make home feel like.
I do.
Safe and comfortable, you know. You have this presence at home that is very angelic, very guardian. Okay, and so this more nature, softer part of you, where you find abundance and love and happiness and bliss, is opposing directly the intensity of like how you want your career to be. You know what I mean? So it's like home life, which is all of that, the garden gnoming thing, and then you can have both, but they just oppose. They're not the same thing.
Yeah. I would like to have them both too. I really would. I do take joy in both.
You can, and you will. Why not? You can, and you are. You do.
I have. That's right. I have been.
You are. You're doing it now. You just incorporating more of it because you can have it. You deserve that. That is yours. That belongs to you for sure, 100%. What you cultivate belongs to you, you know. And if something leaves you, if something slips your fingers, you know, you just let it go, just let it dissipate, because a lot of things are going to slip through your fingers at times. You know, you're not really going to understand, you're not going to have the closure, you know, and that can feel like, you know, long-term grief, but that's kind of where we got to kind of surrender, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Money can slip through too as well. You got to pay extra attention there. But then if you ground it in your home environment, right, if you anchor it at home, your money at home, so working from home, stashing your money at home.
Do both of those things, carry on?
Yes. Also nurturing and tending to the grounds even more so, honoring them, creating rituals around that. If you create abundance at home on the land that you are in, it will attract, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Been doing well. I've been doing my partner slays too. She slays with the home. It is, you're not anchored in that. Like that's my big thing. I really don't like moving. I almost hate moving. Even if into a better spot, I'm like, nah, man, I've got my home set up. I have the things how they gotta be, and I've settled in, and I got a relationship with the bush outside now. Like, nah, dude, we're good. We're fucking, this is home base.
And that's what emotionally makes me feel secure. And there's nothing wrong with that. That does very well for you. It does very well for you and those around you. You know, if you feel safe and secure at home, everything else is pretty much good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So your Venus and Gemini is in the 5th house of Leo. So your Gemini Venus has a Leo expression to it. So it wants to be seen. You want to be recognized. You want your gifts to be displayed. You probably you do, because
look at me.
And but it's not in a bad way. It's not in a bad way. Like, I want to, this is where you were telling me you want to share your light. Like, you want the light that you're emitting, you want to share that. And you can share your performances or your written word or like your craft, like displaying your artistic.
Yeah, that's fun.
And your work. That's the, and you know, Chiron is there. So sometimes, you know Chiron's the wounded healer, you know.
No, that's right. I was like, I did forget for a second there, but no, I know Chiron now. So Chiron with the Venus.
Yep. In Gemini.
That's right. That's what you were saying earlier.
So
Noted.
We heal others through performance art, using words that we need to express in order to heal the original expression of where this either music or creativity is stemming from.
Yeah. It does. The writing things out is such a more, I don't know, like intimate way of putting your thoughts out into the world. It's almost like I was writing yesterday I was trying to write something deep, and I haven't done that. I haven't like given it a real good shot in probably over a year of like, I'm gonna write some fucking fire right now. And as I started writing, it was almost like, all right, was like, you hit that little flow, that little writing flow, and you're like, damn, I had those thoughts in there. Like, oh man, that fits in. It's like a puzzle. It's like a jigsaw puzzle just coming together with all sorts of shit from all sorts of different areas. And I was like, oh, nice. Like, that's right. This is why you need to write, because it's, you articulate yourself in such a way that's like I can't normally do.
And what you just expressed to me is your Venus in Gemini trining your Mars in Aquarius. These are Venus, Gemini and Aquarius are air signs. They rule that exchange of information. And so Venus and Mars go together. They love each other. And they're entwined. They're in perfect harmony. They love each other. That's what you just expressed to me is that energy flowing between each other.
That's awesome. I can see and feel that.
Mm-hmm. And then it gets intense sometimes. Like, oh, why?
That's when I get frustrated. That's when I look at the world and I'm like, I give up.
No, don't give.
I know. I know. I just say it out loud to get it off my chest is all.
No.
I'm not.
I've said myself enough. No one sees me. The Pisces. I know we need you, Pisces. Come on. You're the
That's funny. All right, let's start. Wait, are we done? I was gonna say let's start. It's been 2 hours, so I at least want to start setting the energies for wrap up. If anyone wants to get anything that would like to get out there or ask Josh specifically, you're like, damn, I really wish she could answer this question I have. Or yeah, I was basically just setting the tone for the ending of the video. That is all. But are we done? How are you even going? Are you reading each chart or?
Well, that's pretty much it, like the gist of your chart. I'm sorry if I, poked any areas that wasn't supposed to be poked.
No, it wasn't even that. It was more like, I would love to respond, but like I don't want to respond in front of everyone kind of thing. Like
don't get mushy on me.
But no, it was all great. And it was
I'd love to pull a couple of cards for your channel. And
running.
Well, that represent your channel. So Gan of letters, right? And
yeah.
So I want to see what the archetypal energy is for you of that. What is it putting out into the universe? What is the energy signature? What is it representing that you don't see? Because you are projecting it as one way, but everybody else is receiving it in another way.
Yeah, agreed.
You might think this, but the universe is like, haha, no, it's actually doing this,
Yeah, no, I have that thought a lot of like, I'll never know what I'm like to other people because I'm not other people.
Let's see. Heavenly divine, we've been in spirit and communication this whole time. And it's always an honor to praise, honor, and worship you, heavenly divine. I always have to give props and honor to the divine because I'm just a vessel. All of this stuff only comes from the divine because I certainly, other than that, how else would I know? I really don't know. So, gotta keep it, gotta be humble and recognize.
I gotta do my.
When you did that, this popped out. So what's this? Earth element, it's stability. So your channel is stable.
Oh, nice. That is intentional. At least I'm hoping. That's one of my hopes. Earth element stability.
And it was reversed. So if you're doubting that, please understand that this is anchored. So if you need to root it a little more physically in the energetic realm, so say that you as a cord, take that cord and anchor it a little bit further into the earth so you can feel secure there. And then also open up that cord so that you can draw material wealth into your channel. So you're drawing from the earth's core material success and stability into your channel. One more. Very good. God bless you. You are blessed and protected. Okay.
Right.
Whoever are protected will remain protected. Okay. What you set out to do will be protected and in honor of the divine. You should not fear. Do not fear. Okay. You are a warrior of spirit. You're a warrior of God. You are a warrior of humanity. Do not fear. You have the ability of sight, foresight, and submission into the dream realm, going deep. There's nothing that is hidden from you. I'm just letting you know that. Nothing that is hidden from you. South node, life debts, and void of course missing. So your channel has something to do that is actively paying off a life debt previous to here. So this is a part of you paying off karma in some way, which is why it can sometimes feel like a chore sometimes. Void of course, moon missing, karma. You're working out a karma. That moon represented by Pisces. It's almost like I'm going to say this, it's almost like a financial debt that you had in your past life that you're almost paying through now doing your spiritual services and duty via this thing here. And then Capricorn. Here's your Capricorn energy that you were interested in. I use. So you're meant to use this platform to your advantage. Not let it use it, even though you're using it. See, you're using it to pay off your life debt. Look,
great. This is just a servitude channel.
Which
is fine.
On a deep Akashic level, it shouldn't affect your creativity and your experience with it today. It has nothing. It's not doomsday or anything like that.
Yeah.
You're being to it. So here's the double earth energy with the Capricorn. Capricorn is earth energy. It's the epitome of stability. It's your 10th house career. This is what we're talking about. YouTube, 10th house career. So what you're doing now has a lot to do with your career status and visibility, which is going to ultimately bring you stability here. It's also simultaneously paying off past life karmic debts. And what else should we know here? What else should we know here? We do numerology for you, so we see what kind of cycle that your channel is in. Okay, and we're going to do that in a second. So we have heartbroken and happy family. I don't know what that is. So maybe some sort of heartbreak within a family unit is going to be healed. Sorry, I don't know why that is popping up, but there's some sort of healing.
Well, you did mention a bunch of times the matriarchal healing.
You are going to be healing that through via expression. You can write a letter or something or a poem and read it to your wife or what, like your friend or someone that you doesn't have to be, so let's see what cycles. So happy for your healing as well through your channels. You're healing yourself and others, and you're also creating a family and network of which you bring healing to as well. You also create a unit here as well for those who may be brokenhearted and share the same ills and pains that you might as well. So you may be attracting people who eventually will feel like family, who have the same kind of aches and pains that you do. Okay.
It's beautiful.
I want to see what cycle you're in. Yeah, that is actually very beautiful. So understand that overtly you might not understand who you're attracting or why, but innately you have an idea. Can I get one, please? You don't want to talk to me? I just want to see what kind of cycle and phase this channel is. It doesn't have to be definitive. Let me see. What do we need to know about this? Okay, that's much better. So we have a win-win outcome is forecast, full moon in Libra. Oh, the moon's in Libra now. So this is an equal exchange between us. Okay. Believe in the impossible and nothing is yet set in stone. So basically, no matter, I think you're set out to win regardless. Nothing is yet set in stone. But I feel like this is like a mutual exchange between you and I don't know. I feel like we're on even terms, you and I.
The card saying that we're not?
That we are.
Okay.
A new start is coming and don't let pride get in your way. So I don't know. I think that you a win-win win-win outcome is set for you. So no matter what you do with this channel, you're winning and you're gaining. And not only are you winning and you're gaining, but the people that you're interacting with on the other side. It's a very balanced spectrum between whoever you have on the other side of your screen. You understand?
I definitely try to. Yeah, we're all squad for sure.
Mm-hmm. And now knowing that I've attracted you or you've attracted me, that is also confirming to me that we share some of the same core wounds in a sense. Because that's what we were just told with this.
Yeah, how could it not be? In other words.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so this is really beautiful energy. You know, Capricorn is long lasting, everlasting, and it's a slow climb. You know, it's a very slow climb. It takes time, it matures, you know, so it's like the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, you know what I mean? So it's something that's going to grow and evolve with that, like fine wine, if you would. Yep.
Or some fine mead. I'm brewing some mead right now, and it's been aging for 5 months.
Mead?
Mead, yeah. You know what mead is?
I know.
No? Uh-oh. Okay.
I feel like
You feel like what?
I feel like I've heard it, but I don't know what it is.
It's basically wine made out of honey. Yeah. So you ferment honey instead of grapes, and you have mead.
What?
Yeah, it's super dope.
I need to have some of this.
I will be more than happy to send you a bottle. More than happy to send you a bottle. And there's apparently you're supposed to age it as well. The dude was like, because I'll make 2 batches, man. Drink the first one when you want, and the second one, forget about it for 2 years. But I only made 1 batch, so I'm only going to forget about it for like 6 months.
Okay.
I'm bottling soon. I don't know what it's going to take. Like, I've never made it before, but we'll.
I'm more than happy to compensate.
Yeah. Oh, no. You have. But this was a compensation. That friggin' chart reading was like, I took notes. I took actual notes of the conversation. But
beautiful.
I gave what's that?
It's so good.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna end it. Chat room. Let me see.
Yeah, I know.
Getting cold. Getting quite chilly out here. So thanks everyone. I'm sure you'll leave a comment on your way out. Michael, John Gall, Devontae, Mana Letters, Auden. So I got my channel name because there's a super dope TV show named called Supernatural, and that's about these 2 brothers that drive across the country fighting the supernatural. And in it, there's a segment called the Man of Letters, who are like this super secret occult, but like very refined, like whiskey or whiskey in a pitcher with glass bottles and like lots of books and like ties and shit. And those are the Men of Letters. So they're like the classy version of the. Anywho, and we got another squad in there. We got another Man of Letters in the chat room. So we're gonna have to make some magic work.
No, I love that, and it sounds very original and suiting. It was intriguing when I read that, because also having a Venus in Gemini, I like the written word. And if you go to my Instagram, I do write a lot. So
I know I gotta. Oh, let me put that in the chat text too, because I need to actually put that in the chat room too. I was about to hang up without laying out your paraphernalia. Yeah, where's your link at? All right, just tell it to me again so I can type it.
Yep, it's JANIECEGABRIEL.
All right, everyone. I just put Josh's Instagram handle. It sounds like that's the best place to hit you up. So we'll leave that. All right, I'm gonna end a live, but the Zoom will still be on, Ja. So, all right, peace out, everyone. I'll see you guys. I'll see you when I see you. All right, peace out. And the live is